gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Sunday night. It's game night here at the fabulous Ice Arena Wales in beautiful Cardiff Bay. So without further ado, let's get out of our seats. Put your hands together for your team, the home team, your Cardiff Devils!
For 30 years, the Cardiff Devils have gone to war with the Nottingham Panthers. So many times success and failure have been linked inexplicably between these two franchises. This year, the Devils are looking for a repeat of league title action. The Nottingham Panthers have not won it for many years, but they are in as good a position as they have been since they won it to launch a new challenge. Tonight is a big in-conference game that will give one of these teams 2 valuable points towards their goal of league glory. Gareth Hewish alongside Aled Lloyd, and Alice, another big crowd here tonight, an expectant crowd looking for a turnaround.
Yeah, I think the attendances domestically here at Ice Arena Wales are probably topped even that of last year. Another sold-out crowd here tonight. Big contingent of Panthers fans as well, which is fantastic on a Sunday evening as well. That's going to make for a good atmosphere, I'm sure. Big response needed from the Cardiff Devils, and I suppose we keep waiting for that. They've shown glimpses of superb play in the Champions Hockey League, fits and starts domestically. Tough loss last night in Sheffield, which they're going to want to avenge. For the Panthers, they're on a 3-game winning streak in league action. They had a good win over Edinburgh Capitals last night as well, so they'll be coming into this game with a lot of confidence. They've got a huge amount of depth. They've got more bodies on the ice than Cardiff as well, and they seem like a team at the moment that just knows what its identity is and knows how to get things done.
Tyson Strachan gets his welcome to Ice Arena Wales. He'll make his home debut, but the Devils will still be without Justin Farina, Patrick Asselin, and Mark Richardson, who is still out with that hand injury. So a lot of juggling of the lines. Al, you may have some insight though as to maybe a little bit of a change to start of this game for the Devils.
Yeah, this may or may not happen, I suppose. We'll find out now. You've set me up, guys. But we may see Mark Lewis go as a forward just for the first few shifts. Certainly in the warm-up tonight, Lewis was warming up on defence, and we discussed a little bit about the Devils' lines leading in at the start of the programme here tonight. But it does look as though maybe Lewis might take a few shifts. Andrew Lord used to like employing Patrick Bordelow for a first couple of shifts on that top line last season, so he likes going to that move, just trying to set a precedent. I think he needs to kick-start his team, and maybe that is one way he can do it.
So both teams are lined up, ready to go. We are going to have the formalities of the ceremonial puck drop, and then, as always, we'll have a beautiful rendition of the Welsh national anthem.
Caps and hats, and join Beth Millard in the singing of the Welsh national anthem.
My hen wlad fan hadayan on oily me, glad by the cantorion erwogion ovri. I gwrol refelwyn, glad garwyd ramat, tros raddydd cochlasant, a'i gwaed. Glad
So it's time for the talking to stop. There's been reams and reams of electronic chip paper spewed out about over the last week or so, Al, from a Devils fan base who want a little bit more from their team, and we're about to find out exactly what words Andrew Lord has said to his team based on the quotes you were talking about pre-game.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a hugely tough challenge. Huge fan of the way that this Nottingham Panthers team has been built. We see Michael Garnett in goal, and certainly the best resume of any goaltender coming into this league this season. Mika Vikman done a fantastic job at Nottingham the past few seasons, and they seem to have carried on that tradition now with Garnett in goal. I love the look and the balance of the defence as well. I'm excited to see Tim Billingsley and the offensive side he provides. We've seen Jan Sove in Cardiff, Jack Zagreb, and looking forward to what he can do there. And I love Matthew Gagnon on the back end as well.
Gagnon left Ice Arena Wales with a cut, but he also left having dished out about 7 consecutive haymakers to Justin Farina in what can only be described as an apocalyptic type war of a fight towards the end of that game out.
Well, I think Matthew Gagnon is the type of player that every successful hockey club needs in their team. He does the simple things well in his own head, but goodness me, will he stand up for his teammates, and he's certainly a guy to be feared. But credit to Farina as well, the way he stayed in that fight. Looked in trouble at one point, but he's a big loss for the Devils tonight.
Puck sent down, and Reddick will chase this. Reddick around for Martin. Martin will turn. Martin under pressure from Lee, but gets the puck to Bendevolio, and there's going to be a hand pass here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how many minutes this top line plays for the Devils tonight. Joey Martin out there with Sean Bendevolio. They've got a good connection. Matthew Pope has come back into the lineup, and he's looked very good as one of the stronger, more consistent performing new signings perhaps for the Devils as well. And I think they're going to play a lot tonight, though, Gaz. There's going to be a lot leaning on them, but that might not be a bad thing just to get one or two of those players going in front of goal.
So Mark Lewis does line up with Ulmer and Batch. So no secret as to what Andrew Lord is looking for from this line, as Schaller comes up against Fournier, and Fournier just gets something on that puck, but the Panthers retain, and Schaller again will look to just ease this one into the zone. Now here's Mark Lewis. Batch. Farmer with a little shove on Batch, and we know how game Rob Farmer can be when it comes to the physicality. Lewis trying to retrieve that puck. There's a shout for a hold from the Cardiff Devils faithful, but nothing doing from referee Hogarth. Dumped in by Schaller. Fournier. Fournier's got a bit of ice to skate into, and skate he does. Still Fournier. Still Fournier. And his pass back to the point is cut out by Brown. This time between the two of them is Craig Moore and Luke Piggott, who get the puck back for the Devils. Moore gets a hit. This time
it's exactly what Coach Lord would want to see from Luke Piggott. Back into the lineup, Piggott with the injuries, comes in straight away, throws a big hit on Jeff Brown. That's not an easy thing to do. We saw what Brown did to Andrew Lord last time they played here. Goodness me, Luke Piggott straight away involved.
Crowder with a shot, and that's blocked over. Now Crowder up against Lee. Paris, and that's gone wide. Battle going into the corner, and it's Andrew Lord that comes away with it, but Lee does excellently to take the pressure away for Nottingham. It has been a bright start by the Devils, though.
Definitely seeing a difference in the way they play, much more akin to the Champions Hockey League, where they got that heavy forecheck going and made those decisions to get in and put pressure on defence when they're doing it so far against the Panthers.
That's hit up over the glass from Strachan, And there'll be a face-off in the Nottingham zone.
And just to come back to that point there, a few games that we've seen here at Ice Arena Wales, and perhaps was the case last night, have almost seemed to have not been played at 100% tempo from the Cardiff Devils. Again, we saw that in the Champions Hockey League. This is much more akin to that kind of performance through the first few shifts. They got the momentum off Batch and Lewis throwing the body. Interestingly as well, they were put out there against the Perlini Farmer line as well, and Shala. So there's a lot of offense on that line, but Andrew Lord trusted those guys to go out and throw the big hits.
Shot comes in, and that's going to be dealt with by Mike Garnett. And Alice, it's quite interesting to have basically a CHL game during a normal regular season. Nottingham, of course, still in the competition. Their action resumes late October and early November, and I can't believe I'm saying this, possibly a winnable game, a winnable tie for them. And what an achievement that would be for not only Nottingham but British hockey in general if they were to progress. Joey Martin over, and his shot goes into the logo.
I think you've just got to admire Corey Nielsen's ability as we... Bryce Reddick's not afraid. He had a fight last time, of course, against Raphael Bussier as well here, so not afraid to get involved, Reddick, and that's good from a smaller player. But you've got to admire Corey Nielsen's ability in those short tournament formats. He just gets it right. Continental Cup winners, of course, last year. That was their passageway through to the Champions League, and then some absolutely phenomenal performances as well. The shutout Turku as well. I mean, absolutely incredible performance from the Panthers, thoroughly deserving of their pathway through. They know how to get it done in that tournament, and they're showing it here as well.
Mark Lewis tries to get that puck towards net, and Garnett bats it away. Now Mosey's going to settle it down for the Panthers as they look to break out. Chip forward, and Josh Batch is going to have to get rid of it here, and he does. And it's a turnover though at the blue line. Fournier just run out of room, and now the Panthers will look to set up camp. Billingsley. Paris for the Devils, who just clears that one down. There'll be no icing on the play, and the Devils will be able to get a change here. Gagnon does well to get away from the attentions of Josh Batch. Betteridge. Gagnon with a good outlet pass, and Brown will chip that in and chase. Pass a bit too hot to handle, and all the way back down to the Panthers' end.
That's two shifts already for this Devils fourth line, so it looks like Andrew Lord is going to try and use them.
Shot comes in from Clark, and that's padded away by Bounds. Brown tried to find Clark, but it's the Devils that come away with it with Craig Moore. It's another simple shift from that Devils fourth line. Stave the pressure, just give the other lines chance to catch their breath. But now here come Nottingham. And Bounds will glove that easily in the crease.
I think again though, we're just seeing that slight difference in that Devils forecheck when they don't have possession of the puck. They sent two forwards in to try and kill that Panthers outlet pass. We know they've got a lot of talented defensemen on the back end, but crucially the third forward there stayed deep, and the gap control was a lot better between forwards and defense, meant the Panthers couldn't find a way through on the odd man.
Solveig back to Lee. Bussier. Lakovic. He's got two red jerseys for company, one of them Tyson Strachan, but manages to get the puck back to Bussier. Fournier. And now the Devils have a bit of room. Strachan's pass is cut out. Now right in front, Bussier loses an edge, and that was a gilt-edged chance for the Nottingham Panthers if he had managed to stay on his feet. Now here's Morissette. Morissette shoots, and still loose, and it's there! Morissette's backhand gets through Garnett, and the Devils' high-tempo start has been rewarded. 1-0 Devils.
Jake Morissette, his first league goal of the season. We saw him score a good goal in the Champions Hockey League, and that time it was just that will. We've seen the Devils this early on in this game willing to get to the net a little bit more. Crowder was superb there, made life miserable for Mike Garnett in goal. Morissette picked up the pieces. The Devils go 1-0 up.
Schaller puts that on Bounds early straight from the face-off. Now Billingsley can't handle that pass, but he does find a good pass into the slot, and Bounds has to make the save. What a pushback shift that is from the Nottingham Panthers.
It was a superb pushback shift, and we just see Farmer there again. Can't say it enough how much we applaud Rob Farmer's play up here in the gantry here at Cardiff. Superb player for the Panthers, but just getting involved there, making his presence known. Hoffman was good as well in front of net. He just cleared Josh Schaller out the way enough so Ben Bounds could see the puck. That happened a couple of times last night where the clearance wasn't there and the Steelers scored with Marquardt in front of the net. Good to see that slight change as well. Great pushback from the Panthers there.
Billingsley, Delago, Mosey with a shot, and Bounds with a pad save. Now it's a Gagnon with a bomb, and that's going off Hotham out in front, and that's going to sting as the Panthers send it back around the boards, and they look hurt from that goal, the Nottingham Panthers, as they try to keep it in the zone. They can't, but they will throw it back in, looking to start a cycle.
I think the Panthers, they're seeing the benefit of those set lines that they have, though, Gaz. They knew where they were, and quite often the Devils struggling to keep to that man-to-man positioning. Always one or two Panthers there finding their space in the offensive zone and creating two chances.
Hotham to Strachan. Joey Martin tries to find Bentavolio, can't, and now the Panthers will move forward. Over the blue line they come, but that's cut out by Reddick, who didn't really have any options, but his pass has put the Devils a little bit in trouble here. And again, the Devils maybe would be better served just to put it over that blue line, but they can't, and now the Panthers come forward as Farmer flashes that one across the crease. Reddick this time has a bit more ice in which to skate into and has options in Bentavolio. Pope. Martin does well to evade the attentions of Brown. Spang it was who tried to get it out for the Panthers but can't. Now there's another chance at it here. Fournier. Clark for the Panthers. Wins it at the second attempt. But now here's Fournier for the Devils to start a cycle, and he gets a hit in behind from Brown. Matthew Myers did very well there to stick handle his way out of trouble. Two Nottingham forecheckers for company. Now here's Piggott. Matthew Myers. Myers muscled out of it. Now Brown will come forward for the Panthers. Crowder makes a little play at the blue line and evades the attention. Now here's Hotham. He can't get it back to Crowder. And Boussier now has to get away from the attentions of Crowder and Hotham, but will be an icing call on the play as well.
Been impressed with Crowder early in this one, Gaz. You watched the game last night in Sheffield. You said he was perhaps one of the stronger players for the Cardiff Devils. We're going to get a replay here, though, on our screens of that goal. See straight away, Crowder goes straight to the net there. He gets bundled over, but he stays and hangs around. Morissette gets another try, and you're going to say maybe Garnett would like that one back, but I think Crowder just caused so much of a nuisance there. He just threw the goaltender off his game for a moment.
Here's Lord. Tries to find Crowder again. Now the goal scorer Morissette, and we've interviewed Morissette a fair few times, and he's a very considered individual when he's being interviewed, but you've seen from his reaction from that goal there, Al, that it meant a lot to him, and that intensity that came out, and they will serve as Lord. It's a shot, and that's a great pad save from Garnett. Another big chance for the Devils. It could easily have been two. The Nottingham goaltender comes up big. Billingsley. Bentavolio to Martin. Devils will look to go to work again through Pope. Hotham. Devils happy to work in the offensive zone, trying to get something going, but the Panthers do well to get possession of that puck.
The difference is, though, Gaz, is they're making the Panthers work hard to get out of their own zone. It's just taking a few seconds off. Even if the Panthers do eventually get there, it just takes a few seconds off, wears down their defensive unit a bit more, and that's something we just haven't seen from the Devils over the last few weeks in domestic competition.
Farmer up against Ulmer, but Farmer does well just to get a stick on that. The Devils will come forward, just Batch. Batch turns, tries to find Lewis, who looks to have a settled space on this line as a forward tonight. Reddick looking for Strachan at the back stick, couldn't find him, and now the Panthers will come forward with Schaller. Schaller in a foot race with Batch. Batch does well. Lewis throws a hit in there. Needs to do it again, though. The Panthers out in front. Back out play. Bounds makes the save. Schaller it was who forced his way into Bounds' crease. The Cardiff goaltender equal to it on that occasion.
Fine play from Lindhagen, though. He took the big bump from Mark Lewis. Over 250 games in the Swedish Elite League. You'll see why they skate so well. He's a heads-up player, and he almost created something for the Panthers.
And you get a sense in the last few shifts that the Panthers' physicality has just gone up a notch as Piggott gets more into the zone. Moore lays that for Matthew Myers. Myers looking for options. Finds it in Piggott. Piggott up against Steve Lee, and it's going to be a scrimmage for this back in the corner. The Panthers come away with it. Jan Sorve. Luke Piggott's gone from marshalling the bench up against the KHL stalwart defenseman in the space of a couple of weeks, and that's an offside call, but from this angle, that looked to be on the blue.
Yeah, I think Bryce Reddick's extremely unfortunate there, but face-off will come outside the zone. Reddick has started in a lively way as well. It's interesting, isn't it? The Devils right now, with Lewis playing as a forward, have got just running with those 5D men. On the downside, that means the combinations are split up, but at the moment it means they're getting a bit more ice time, every player, and they look like they're enjoying the responsibility at the moment as well. So yeah, that's going to be tough for Tyson Strachan, though, if they keep that out throughout the game, having just flown into the country.
Indeed, there's going to be increased minutes throughout all of his time here as the Devils in behind. Houghton's there, and that's a great pad save by Garnett, whose vision was impaired. He did excellently to keep that one out. Now Lord's in, Crowder. Back to Lord. And that's a hit from mine. That's going to be called from Hogarth, and Morissette's going in. I don't think there's going to be any physicality from Morissette, but this will be the first power play chance of the evening, and Billingsley will sit for two.
Well, we're going to see the Devils with their first power play of the evening. Again, Champions Hockey League, the power play went pretty well, over 20%. The Panthers and Devils know all about power play woes domestically, though. They both struggle. The Devils have the worst power play currently in the league, I think, or they're down at, my apologies, down at 11, so, you know, give or take. But yeah, we'll see how they go to work here. They're obviously having to mix and match things up a little bit. The Panthers' penalty kill is reasonably good. They're fourth. They've got a penalty kill up around 86%, so we'll see if the Devils can find a way to break things down. Right now, they're perhaps just with a little bit of momentum off the back of that good shift.
Fournier. Pope is at point on the power play. This was employed by Andrew Lord yesterday in Sheffield. A couple of bombs laid by Matt Pope, and now here's Crowder just trying to ease his way in. He tried to find Ulmer. Ulmer fans on it. Would have been another gilt-edged chance. Devils, though, getting a good scoring chance here on the power play. Back with Pope at point. Fournier. Back to Matt Pope, who has to juggle with it at the blue line, but keeps it there. Crowder. Some methodical power play from the Devils here. Fournier throws it in, deflected wide. Martin. Fournier, he's got some space, and that's hit wide again. The Devils, though, doing well just to keep the pressure on here. Just under a minute left of power play time. Crowder. Crowder shoots, Garnett saves. Martin. Crowder. Crowder was looking for Martin, who was trying to ghost back door. 35 seconds remain. I don't think either of these teams are actually going to get anyone off. As Pope puts it to the post, and Garnett manages to cover up.
Love that play there from Jan Sauve on Paul Crowder out in front of Garnett. No nonsense there from him. The Panthers weren't made to work too hard on that power play, but they were extremely passive as well. And what it did was it allowed the Devils players on the blue line, particularly Gleason Fournier, time on the puck. The Devils have struggled when you put pressure on their defensemen who like to handle the puck. They like to maybe overhandle sometimes, but that time, in a way, it worked against the Panthers as Fournier had room, got a good couple of shots away.
Shot from Paris, just wide. And they teed him up straight away from that face-off. They'll be looking to do it again, no doubt, as Hotham throws that one. That's deflected over.
And to the point again there, Paris just given more time on the puck than we've seen recently. We saw how effective it was in Coventry where the Devils won that crucial Challenge Cup game a week ago when he's given time. Of course, scored the overtime winner here against Davos as well. He's got an absolute bomb from there. The Panthers will rue giving him too many chances to get that laser going from the blue line.
Bendevolio. Just 10 seconds left of power play time now. Hotham just about gets away with it. Paris with a bit of space now, and the angle wasn't quite right, and Garnett does well to save with the blocker. Panthers clear the zone, and well, I think the Devils will be fairly happy with that power play.
For me, guys, the Panthers have got to be more aggressive. You're playing against a team that has very little confidence on the power play. Some of its big players aren't firing, but they...
Myers in, and that's deflected over, and he gets another shot at it. It goes wide again. Here's Myers once more. Batch, but he's muscled out, and a shallow will come forward for the Panthers. We're into the last 5 minutes of this first period. It's been a fascinating first period. Strachan ties up his man behind the net. Now here's Reddick. He's up against Farmer, and Farmer does well just to get him down, and that'll be a face-off.
Yeah, just to finish that point, guys, I think the Devils have been given more time on the puck this evening than we've seen when Manchester came down here and won, when Belfast came down here and won, when Guildford came down here and won. And you're seeing the Devils players just being given more time now. I know Corey Nielsen has utmost faith in his game plan, and more often than not, he's right as well. He's a superb coach and his players buy into his systems. But if you're a team that's playing with a lack of confidence, time on the puck is exactly what the Cardiff Devils need right now, and you can see the confidence starting to grow.
Mishandle at the blue line, but kept in. And now here's DeLargo. Lovely move, pulled there by Phillips, but Bounds is equal to it. Phillips gets another chance here, throws it into Bounds, and a lot of traffic out in front. Strachan for the Devils with an easy outlet pass in the end.
Just see what an intelligent player Zach Phillips is, drafted in the first round by Minnesota. You can see why as well. He just plays a heads-up game, make the right plays there and put pressure on the Devils.
Icing call on the play.
Yeah, so I think that's a symptom, really, again, of the Devils putting pressure on that forecheck. And right now, the Panthers aren't getting the outlet they want. They're being slowed down a little bit in their transition game as well. And in some ways, the Devils having this short bench tonight, perhaps you could argue not being the favourites to win this game might work for them, because it gives them that more of that CHL mentality. And right now, they're playing in a similar fashion.
Shot come in, and Garner makes the save and elects not to catch it in his glove, sticks it away. Now here's Ulmer. And the pressure's ramping up there as Piggott is absolutely hacking and slashing away, and the Devils are coming away with the puck. And well, he's making a nuisance of himself, Luke Piggott. But the Panthers, it is now, have a little bit of time and space, but that pass is not using. It'll be another icing call, and Piggott's proved his worth, though.
Oh, I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but again, it's that same play. It's just the Panthers' defensemen right now just not being given the time on the puck that they'd like, and the Devils are getting a huge amount out of that fourth line. You perhaps didn't know what was going to come of it. It's been put together for the first time this evening. Myers obviously experienced it. He knows how to play that role. He did it in Nottingham, of course, to Cam Jansen and Robert Farmer in that successful season. But right now, the the Devils' fourth line is eating up valuable minutes for Andrew Lord. It means players like Sean Bentivolio, Joey Martin are getting time and fresh time on the puck.
And that's going to be a penalty called on Joey Martin, and there'll be a slashing call. He slashed the stick out of the hands there of Jan Sauvé, and the Panthers get a late first period power play opportunity.
Yes, Bentivolio's going to sit. There was a bit of a melee there, wasn't there, with penalties like that. But Bentivolio, it's come at a good time perhaps for the Panthers. Just get some time on the puck. We talked about their power play though not being hugely effective. You wonder why, just as you do with the Devils as well. With the talent on both rosters, we'll see what they can get going here.
Shot comes in for the blue line, and it's still out in front, and Bounds has to make the second save. The puck is still loose. There it is again, and Bounds makes a third save, I think. Pressure remains though. Back at the point, Schaller. Bomb comes in, and that's a block from Jake Morissette, whose body was formed in a laboratory for chemical warfare and doesn't actually hurt when he gets hit by a puck, it seems. And now he's set up Joey Martin. Penalty time ticked down. Now here's Andrew Hotham for the Devils. Helini gets the Panthers moving. Farmer. Devils get out once again. There's a hit down in the corner. Hotham and Farmer it is, going back and forth, and Farmer wants a penalty for having the stick taken away from him. There was a real to and fro there off camera.
I think he's probably got a good case as well, Gaz. That's a veteran play from Hotham, though, with the referee the other end of the ice.
Oh, to have a four-man system back in the Elite League. Another coming together at center ice. And well, you need eyes everywhere. 40 seconds remain on the power play for the Panthers. Roussier. Still with Roussier. Sauvé. His shot hits Gleason Fournier, who doesn't get it back out. Sauvé again. Roussier. 15 seconds left on the power play. Roussier looking for the pass, and back to Sauvé. Roussier. And the Devils return to full strength, but the pressure remains from Nottingham. Right out in front, Bounds makes a save, it's still loose, and the Devils come away with it. Off the glass by Matthew Myers for Bentivolio. Bentivolio's got 3 white jerseys around him. Strachan off the glass. But it's cut out. Now Sauvé has it, but he's under pressure straight away. Bentivolio with a turnover. Strachan puts it forward onto Garnett, but it goes wide. Matt Pope, who finds the back to point and looking for a tip again, the Devils, as we're into the last 35 seconds. Morissette will come forward. We'll just chip in, and I think the Devils will be more than happy to get to the end of this period with a lead. But is there one more chance for the Panthers with Mosey coming forward? Lindhagen has to turn. Another forecheck from the Devils, and Mosey can't collect it. Hotham gets it away from him, and that'll be it for this period. A hugely fascinating and entertaining first period in Ice Arena Wales.
And I think that last passage of play there just encapsulated the way that first period has gone. The Devils there with that high forecheck, putting pressure on the Panthers, who can't get the outlet they want, unable to get through in that neutral zone and work on the transition plays there. But crucially as well, leaving that third forward low enough. You saw Andrew Lord able to come back there. We haven't seen the odd man rushes, which have been endemic in the way that the Devils have been playing over the last few weeks, and the Panthers just haven't had those opportunities. Again, that power play just seemed to G the Devils up. There were blocked shots. Devils players were getting to the puck first in front of Ben Bounds, which again isn't something we've seen a huge amount of. You can see the Panthers trying to get that puck back to Jan Sauve, but players on the Devils unit just able to marshal that puck and keep Sauve out of that dangerous area. Fascinating first period. I'm looking forward to the changes that Corey Nielsen looks to make. And I suppose if you're Andrew Lord, do you stick or twist now? It's a 1-0 game. Perhaps he wasn't intending to have Mark Lewis play as a forward for that shift and maybe play so many minutes for that fourth line, but it's worked in that first period.
Hugely important, you touched upon it during commentary, that Devils makeshift fourth line has allowed Andrew Lord to rest a lot of his bigger players who probably will get more shifts as we get closer to the end of this game.
Yeah, and there have been calls, and even Andrew Lord has said a couple of times post-game that maybe he could have played his fourth line a little bit more. Well, perhaps he has a little bit less quality on that fourth line tonight. That's no disrespect to Luke Piggott, of course, but Piggott's been on the bench for the season. So far, the Devils have been going with Batch there and more, but Batch plays up the lines tonight, and he's doing an effective job with Ulmer and Lewis. That's a big body line. And players just seem to know their roles, and I think the lines are clearly identified. This is your job, and I think when players and small groups like that know what their game plan is, it makes life a lot easier. They know what their job is.
Well, we're going to take a stop here, as that is the biggest collision in Zorb football I've ever seen, Alan. The game that's caused the Takeshi's Castle lawyers to unsuccessfully send cease and desist orders continues tonight.
How can I top that, guys?
I don't know, but I'd like you to try it.
I know when I'm beaten. What are we doing here?
Well, I'm just waiting for some senseless violence to happen.
Are we
Zorb football.
commentating?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, guys, all right.
Why not?
All right. Well, normally our main complaint is that players are too worried about scoring goals in the Zorb football, not worried enough about hits. I'm pleased to say that the start of this game, that's nice. See, that's what we like. We love a blindside hit, then following it up into the boards as well. So you got the check from behind, you've got the boarding all in one play there. That kind of thing is encouraged in Zorb football. Like that as well, another little check from behind.
Is it me, or is the Nottingham Panthers kit man holding his, trying his luck by putting all the water bottles right behind the Zorb football goal from 3 people who will not care if they kick a ball at his water bottles?
Well, I think we need to get a word down to these guys. They need to go over there and throw a hit, and everyone loves a water bottle or a beer can falling off a ledge, don't they?
I imagine it's going to be much like when you kick the ball into the garden of a grumpy neighbour.
Do you go, or are you too scared to go and ask for it?
Yeah,
Indeed,
you know, his conservatory window is smashed to smithereens. There's no way it's going to go well.
Well, I mean, that was good. What I loved about that game was that there were no goals.
Yes.
And I think that gets bonus points itself. The only thing was the hit at the start, unfortunately, wasn't matched then at any point during the latter part. It was always going to be difficult to match that initial hit, though. Yeah. I like the intent, though, of the players. It was played in the right spirit. Last time I was on commentary, Gaz, I saw one of the worst games of Zorb football I've ever seen. I think there were 2 you could barely call hits, and they were at least 5 goals, and that is a disgrace to the name of Zorb football.
Because what the teams don't realise is you win absolutely nothing regardless of whether you inflict pain on the opposition or score goals, so it seems absolutely pointless. We'll go back to some hockey and have some highlights, shall we?
Who knows? We can assure you that the highlight is not, in fact, the Zamboni making its a rather sedate way around the ice. Just the one Zamboni here in Cardiff as well, and I like to see 2 Zambonis go. We've just had word that indeed there are no highlights at the moment. There will be. And they'll be at the start of before we go into the second period, guys.
Well, I think it would be best we go for a comfort break then, Al, and return with a few minutes left. So don't go anywhere. There will be highlights here forthcoming before the beginning of the second period. And then there'll be second period action. Cardiff Devils 1, Nottingham Panthers 0, end of the first. Hello and welcome back. We're going to have some highlights of first period action here. And I guess that with the way of the game, there's a huge hit coming in there.
That was Luke Piggott's big hit just to get things going, and goodness me, if you put that in the coaching manual, wouldn't you, how to throw a clean hit? And Jeff Brown, as we said, not an easy person to knock off his feet, as Andrew Lord found out last time. Again, that's good there. The Battle Pope as well, using the big body on that line. He's the bigger player on there, just gets his body in front of the net and puts pressure on. That's an easy save that time for Garnett. But again, then Reddick makes the effort just to go in, be a bit of a nuisance.
David Clark forcing a save from Ben Bounds.
Yeah, this was the big chance out front. It was a turnover, wasn't it, from Tyson Strachan? And that was the one time, really, the Devils have had a bad turnover. Then we get a look at the goal, and goodness me, that is the more you see that, what a finish that is from Jake Morissette. That backhand shot is difficult to read. He squeaked it in, I think, past the right shoulder of Mike Garnett. Again, it's just that play. Jan Sove does a good job on Crowder, but he's there for long enough. And Morissette, he doesn't score simple goals, does he?
No, he does not. Thread through an eye of the needle there, and we've seen Garnett make a few smart stops at his close post as we see more Panthers pressure here. So we know that he's capable of making those saves, as Lord had a chance there to make it 2-0.
Superb play from Lakovic there on the back check, because Lord had the net gaping off that second chance, and Lakovic there with a great job on Lord.
You see a great angle here of Schaller, who forced his way forward towards Ben Bounds,
but he only got the one chance. That was the key thing with the pressure that was put on him there from the Devils defenseman. And again,
we saw Garnett there make a save similar position to Morissette's goal. And this was on the power play, where you were a little bit critical of the passiveness of the penalty kill of the Panthers.
Well, I just think when you're playing against not against a side that's lacking in confidence, particularly on the power play, and players who with high skill levels are lacking confidence, then what do you do to make sure that confidence doesn't come back? You put pressure on their shooters. We know the Devils like to key on guys at the back end, Drew Paris and Gleason Fournier, but Fournier had a lot of time on the puck on that power play, that long shift. That first unit was out there for about 1:30 before we got a whistle, and I just thought it brought players into the game. Fournier doesn't have a goal yet in the Elite League and hasn't been the perhaps had the license offensively that he's had, but that was a big chance. Again there, we just saw that extra bit of desperation that both these clubs showed in the Champions Hockey League and around the net, and I like that from the Cardiff Devils, and good chance for the Panthers as well as we close the highlights. But fascinating to see how this period works out tactically, because I think the Devils probably just had the edge there in that first period. It's a high intensity game they were playing. They were short shifts, so they should be able to maintain it. If pressure comes on we know the Panthers have got more depth though, Gaz, so if pressure starts to come on those Devils' third and fourth lines, then we might see Lord have to shorten things. But right now they've been asked to play more. They've been wanting to play more. I think people have wanted to see them play more, and they've delivered so far, and been a really big fillip for Coach Lord.
But of course we've seen over the years Corey Nielsen make those in-game adjustments, particularly against the Devils, to get his side a favourable result. So ever Wiley, the coach of the Nottingham Panthers, Corey Nielsen. As referee Hogarth finds some debris on the ice, which he isn't happy with. And now we're ready to rock and roll for the beginning of this second period. Devils win the draw, but they're forced to Salve, and there's a turnover. Marty with a shot, and that's plucked out of the air by Garnett.
Yeah, that was a good chance for Martin there. Garnett saw it all the way. Again, I just like Pope there making the extra effort just to go in and be in and around the net. I like that extra little bit of effort that we're seeing there. We saw the puck stop there though, Gaz. It's been a real issue in Ice Arena Wales this season. Early in the period, that ice is at its worst in a lot of ways because pucks are stopping on players, and we saw that open up there for the Devils.
You've had 3 ice rinks and 3 very similar problems.
And again there.
Must be something about the Cardiff air as Reddick throws that, and Garnett saves it, but it's spilled out, and he gets it at the second time of asking as we've gone straight in there. It's Sauve again, making sure Martin gets nowhere near his goalie.
But that's the way hockey should be, right? Joey Martin is going in there, trying to find any way he can to score. Jan Sauve does his job as a defenseman, the bigger body, clears Martin out. Matthew Pope comes in just to make sure Martin's okay. That's what we want to see from hockey. It's that extra bit of determination, that extra bit of compete from both teams, and that's why it's a good game to watch so far.
Face off one with the Panthers then, and Gagnon finds Lindhagen, but that's turned over again. Alma this time, and there was a stick on it from Billingsley, but Panthers, their own worst enemy earlier in this second period.
Yeah, they're making the kind of errors that we've seen the Cardiff Devils make recently, perhaps overhandling in their own zone, particularly as clearly from that first shift. The ice is not good there. It's stuck on Lindhagen again. That's 3 times in the first 29 seconds of play in the Panthers zone. The puck has got stuck and they haven't been able to clear effectively. They've got to go maybe for a little bit more quick, sensible play just to get out of the zone.
Mark Lewis up against Gagnon. Gagnon finds Billingsley, and now the Panthers look to get out, but they still can't get out. Finally they do, and Strachan will look to chase this down. It's an icing call, and the puck comes all the way back up to the Panthers zone.
I do like that defensive combination there of Billingsley and Gagnon. Billingsley there with the skills, he can score, put points up. Gagnon, no nonsense. And as well, we talk about, there's been a lot of talk recently about the effect of enforcers have in creating room for players. Well, Billingsley no doubt will have a little bit of extra room out there to make plays alongside Matthew Gagnon.
Morissette to Lord. Lord off the glass looking for Crowder, finds him. Crowder's trying to force his way to net. It's thought it had snuck out, but it didn't. And now here's Lord again. Crowder. Parrish shoots, blocker save. Hotham. Lord. Back to Hotham, tries to find Morissette out in front. Paris throws that one, and through traffic, Garnett makes the save.
Crucial there, though, the Devils making those quick plays. Twice Drew Paris made the quick plays on his own blue line, got the puck on his stick, got it away quickly. The icing call, the Panthers players have been out there for a little while as well, and the Devils put them to task there, but Garnett was good in net. And the Devils didn't create any grade A chances, but that was sensible play there. We get another draw in the Panthers zone early in the second.
Spang. Spang again, and the Panthers maybe looking just to settle things down a little bit and regain a bit of composure here. Garnett is having a good old ding-dong with Matthew Myers out in front. Now the Panthers do well to come forward. Shot comes in wide of bounds, and that was from Mosey, who's predictably at the top of the points for Nottingham so far, and Piggott's actually drawn a penalty here. And again, fourth line paying dividends.
Well, his biggest value just goes up and up. We got the early momentum hit. Now he draws a penalty. We talked about a tactical change from Corey Nielsen. We saw a little bit there. Delego there on the blue line. So it meant one Devils defenseman had to sit back. So it just opened up the ice. The Devils are wise to it, but Delego still got the step on the defenseman. It just meant the Panthers could finally get that transition going and create some opportunities offensively. But the Devils got rid of the puck quickly, came back into the zone and got the penalty.
I think Matthew Myers was maybe asking where was the penalty on him for Garnett forcibly removing him from his crease. I think that's what you call goaltender privilege. As Matt Pope steps up on the blue line now. Martin. Back to Martin. Martin shoots, and Alma was trying to cause havoc there.
But again, you're seeing more movement from the Devils on their power play than we've seen. They started to make the Panthers work, who've started passive again, maybe a little bit more pressure on the player. Martin certainly felt a little bit of pressure there in and around the blue line, but Gleason Fournier had room, and they got a good shot off with Lane Ulmer as the screen. So it's more encouraging for the Cardiff Devils. We got a few changes now as the Panthers change things up.
Pope to Fournier. Fournier's pass cut out, and Mosey will send this one down.
And Mosey's got the good stick there. We know how quick he is as well. We know all about his goal-scoring ability. He can do it for GB2. They're looking for him on that breakaway.
Matt Pope gets the Jets on and gains the zone. Fournier finds Crowder back door, but Crowder can't get all of it. The net was gaping. A second goal on the plate.
Crowder's been one of the standout players for the Devils tonight. He had a big hand in that first goal. He's led from the front, really. We're starting to see what Andrew Lord knows that Paul Crowder can do. Of course, a year not playing, and goodness me, you'd have put money on him tonight to score that goal.
Turnover from Hotham. Linhagen on the back end. That's a great stick and recovery from Andrew Hotham after he was the one who made the first error. Now the Devils gain the zone. There's 45 seconds left on the power play. Hotham, backhand play. Back to the point, Paris. And his shot is blocked and up into the net in 33 seconds left on the power play.
And quick as a flash, that's how it could change, Gaz, isn't it? The one-goal hockey game, and it would be interesting to see how the Devils might respond if the Panthers did hit them there. They have that ability to score short-handed. They've got the kind of players that can do it. We see Evan Mosey out on the ice again now. Rob Lakovic as well is good on the breakaway. He'll take the face-off now.
Lord looks to win that draw. Paris with a quick release. And Garnett with an even quicker glove hand.
But I like that Paris is just getting those shots away. That's the way the Devils have to play him on the power play. We know what he can do. We saw the points he put up in the Champions Hockey League. We know he's got a laser, and he's accurate with that shot too. That's what the Devils need to do, but Garnett's been good.
Paris's pass was loose on that occasion as Hotham has to wait. And he does, and now the Devils gain the zone. Paris was looking for someone else at the point. There was no one there. And he's still an island on this point. Drew Paris. He's looking to get a shot out, a shooting lane for himself. Nothing doing. Does feed, and that's gone to the side net, and the goal judge getting a little bit trigger happy as Spang returns to the ice. The Panthers are back to full strength. Bendevolio around, looking for Morissette. Paris is going to help him out. Lee for the Panthers, but his pass is loose. Now, Mark Lewis coming on to just inject some energy for the Devils. Matthew Myers. Mosey gets a hit for his troubles, and the Devils keep that puck in the Panthers zone. Lewis now, right in the hit from Lee. Retaliation as Lee's lost his stick in this passage of play. Panthers will want to whistle so Lee can get back in here. Strachan. Matthew Myers tried to find Reddick at the blue line, but Reddick had made a different run. Reddick forward for Batch. Batch with a chip and chase. Garnett around, and now the Panthers finally have some space within to skate into, and it's Farmer. Farmer again. Good pass by Rob Farmer. And just the confidence that Farmer's playing with this year. It was even noticeable in pre-season how he had come in as Piggott throws a hit at the players' benches. And it's going to be offside here, called, and I think this one's going to go just outside of the Devils zone.
Just going back to that power play, Gaz, the Devils' power play has obviously been atrocious domestically this season, but it hasn't really looked like they were going to create any chances either. It wasn't just that it wasn't scoring. Well, they haven't scored there on that power play, but again, they're just starting to do the right things. They're getting shots away. I do feel as though the Panthers are being a little bit passive and should be putting more pressure on, particularly those point men. But the Devils are just starting to do the right things, get players in front of Mike Garnett, get shots away, and you feel like if they keep doing those, eventually they'll find some success.
Thunderous hit coming in on Paris from Delago. And I totally take your point, Alec. Of course, Crowder probably should have scored on that power play as well. It was a big chance just to the pad side of Garnett, and I'm sure he'll be thinking about that when he goes to sleep tonight.
There'll be 3,000 people thinking about that if the Devils don't win the game, guys.
Paris. Around for Martin. Martin just trying to throw it out to the slot. Spang can't get it out. He'd have another chance to do so here. Just ride the hit, but he does a good outlet pass. But again, the Devils' pressure causes a turnover, and Garnett has to make the save. Spang forward. Delago. Paris off the glass, and that will be an icing call. And the Panthers now maybe have a little bit of time to build some pressure.
Yeah, they get a chance now in the offensive zone, but the Devils are making life miserable for them to get out of their own zone right now. It's that forwards, they're getting the high forecheck going, but they're also the way that the forwards are cycling round. On the curl round, they're taking out those outlet passes as well. The Panthers are not looking to go up against the boards right now, and the Devils are able to cut out those passes and making every chance they can take to keep the Panthers in the zone. There's that desperation there to make those higher percentage plays to keep the overall pressure up on the Panthers.
Devils send it in. Billingsley gets to it first, finds Lindhagen. Lindhagen to Gagnon, and now Lindhagen's sort of played his way into a rush here. Excellent work from the Swede. Bomb of a shot from the blue line, but Bounds saw it all the way. Here's Clark. Lindhagen looking to release, but can't. Chases on. Gagnon up against Lord, but Gagnon does well to keep his composure. Now Panthers forward through Farmer, and Farmer is a shooting lane, and that one's gone above Ben Bounds. Maybe now there's just a little bit more of a rhythm to the Panthers. Batch, though, battles with Farmer. Lord didn't realise that puck was coming to him. He was looking to go for a line change. Farmer just puts it on Bounds, and that goes wide on the rebound. Smart play from Farmer.
My goodness, if there was one player the Panthers would have wanted that to fall to on the back door, it was Josh Schaller, and he just skyrocketed it right over the top of Bounds' net with the net open.
Stick in there as Panthers go for a change, and now the Devils will look to move forward. Batch to Ulmer. Ulmer with a lovely little saucer pass, trying to find Mark Lewis. Lewis, a very unorthodox forward, as he gets a whack back, and now are we going to see something happen here? No, Boussier is going away from it. Hogarth's looking at it, and I quite like that referee in there. Both guys gave each other a little something, and nothing was called. Nothing got out of hand, as here's Boussier laying it to Lakowicz. Boussier gets the return. Spang at the blue line, and he's looking for a tip in front, and the Andrew Lord, who's been on the ice for Strachan, I should say, looked very similar to our player coach there for a second, but Mosey, he loses the puck, and now that's a turnover at the blue line. Pope it was. The effect still being felt of that turnover from the Devils, as again they can't clear their lines, and the first time the Devils looking a bit ragged, and now it's the Panthers on the strong forecheck. Hit coming in from Phillips, which is evaded, but the intention was there from Phillips to get something going for his team. Shot comes in, Bounds has to be smart with the pad, and now Pope is sent forward, but that's going to be No ice on the play. I thought he might have had the legs, but it didn't. Phillips. Phillips with a shot. Whisked wide. And Volio under pressure from Phillips, who really seems to have injected some energy into this Panthers team on this shift. Crowder thought he had the puck but didn't. This crowd looking to play their part now. I think they've responded to the work ethic of the Devils thus far.
Yeah, that was the best we've seen the Panthers for some time in this hockey game. They managed to establish some offensive zone time. We're going to see a replay now. And what will it be? So here's the Paul Crowder. Yeah, it's. I don't think Paul Crowder is going to want to see that one again. Not a lot you can add to that, really, Gaz.
He did well on the second attempt to almost get that one through, but a good stick by Jan Sauvé. As a hit comes in, and there's a broken stick on that play. Another hit coming in this time. Morrison is going to be called this time, and maybe the first one wouldn't have held, but
I like that play from Jake Morissette. He's taken a bit of a run at Matthew Gagnon then, who's still not happy. He's gone in with the extra cross checks, but he didn't make a hit. Gagnon had the heads up and made a nice play, but he's clearly ruffled by that. That was not the kind of play you see from Jake Morissette very often, but that's a wily play as well, because the Panthers had a good couple of shifts there. The Devils were under pressure, but the Devils look as though they're going to go back on the power play here, as Gagnon was called just one or two cross checks too many there. And I looked at the number because I thought, who's taking a run there at Matthew Gagnon? And it's Jake Morissette, who's about half his size, but well, he's got the retaliation that he wanted, and the Devils go to the power play.
Gagnon's a tough individual, a kind of glare that'll turn milk, but Jake Morissette gaining one out of him. And, well, I think everyone's seen the fight with Zach Fitzgerald from last week, where Gagnon laid an absolute bomb of a right hand on the Sheffield tough guy. And I tell you, it was two warriors going at it there.
There's a sort of morbid beauty about it, wasn't it?
Shot comes in, looking for the tip in front from Ulmer. Pope. Another shot comes in, this time Garnett saves with a pad, and it's sent all the way down to bounds.
The Panthers clearly back Mike Garnett, and why wouldn't you? But they were completely static there while Pope and Fournier just wound up and let the puck go, and Garnett made the saves. Maybe it's what's worked for them.
Chance here for Ulmer, and that's blocked out in front. Ulmer gets it at the second attempt, and Martin has a bit of chance to move, looking for a play at the back door, but that's where all the white jerseys were in the end.
Great play from Jan Sauvé there. You can see how important he is to the Panthers, that leadership, that NHL class, of course, played those 8 games for Vancouver. Brilliant stick. He's solid at both ends for Nottingham.
Crowder and Ulmer battling with it, but it's the Panthers who are doing well to tick time down. 55 seconds left on the power play, and they'll be able to send this one forward as Sauvé will finally get a well-deserved rest here. Bounce to Pope. Pope with a good long pass, and Bentavolio to Morissette. Hotham. Morissette. Paris. Morissette looking for the tip in front again, doesn't get it. Paris with that long rangy stick tries to keep it alive but can't. Hit coming in from Paris as Billingsley was moving forward, but I think that will be another penalty killed here as the last few seconds, maybe one more chance for Matthew Myers. Finds Morissette, but Morissette's chance goes wide, and the Panthers are back to full strength. Hotham loses the puck but gets it the second time of asking, and Gets Matthew Myers some space, but that's soon run out as Farmer comes forward on the forecheck, and now the Devils are looking to get out, but once again it's a strong forecheck from the Panthers. Mark Lewis now finally has some ice to skate into. Myers forward for Lewis to collect. Lewis does collect. He runs into the brick wall, which is Jan Solveig, who's back on the ice already. Lewis just leans in there and Shala goes down. He's holding his head. The Devils move forward. Hogarth has seen this, I think, that there's a head injury on the play. No whistle used. And the Panthers come forward. The Devils had a chance there, and there would have been a little bit of controversy over that had it gone in. I didn't see it. Did Shala go to the dressing room or to the bench there on that?
To the bench.
Spang throws that one forward, and that'll be an icing call.
Well, that passage of play is going to test my memory. First of all, I thought it was a lot better from the Panthers on the kill. Eric Lindhagen in particular didn't give Drew Paris enough time. It forced Paris to have to go wide, and the Devils take shots from out around past the hash marks there, where the angle was favourable for Mike Garnett in net. Then we saw the Panthers hit back, but that line of Lewis out there with Ulmer, the big body line there, and Josh Batch as well, they're causing a bit of havoc there. We saw how strong Jan Solveig is though as well. He was able to brush Lewis off, but then Lewis came right back with a big hit on Shala.
Out in front, and it's there! A broken play falls to the slot, and the Devils put it away. It's Joey Martin to make it 2-0 Devils.
Joey Martin, his third league goal of the season, and that's a big goal for Joey Martin. It's a big goal for the Cardiff Devils as well. The momentum has been with them in this second period. Todd Kelman spoke about how it's important for players like Martin. They just need one goal to get themselves going, get that confidence back up. Well, Martin has delivered. The Devils, perhaps deservedly at the moment, go 2-0 up.
Paris forward. Pope sends it forward again for Bendevolio. Bendevolio to Joey Martin. Pope. And there seems to be a bit of vigour about the Cardiff Devils tonight. Bendevolio to Fournier. Fournier shoots and falls to Poussier, who didn't really want that hit, I don't think. He tried to ride it. Wraparound play by Pope. Garnett saw it all the way. And now the Panthers assess their options for moving forward. Gagnon. Devils regain possession, but only as far as Jan Solveig. Lee. Farmer trying to throw a hit there, get something going for his team. He's someone who never shies away from the hard work, Rob Farmer. That's gone straight in! My word! I've never quite seen anything like that. That's... Well, I think I need another look at this, as I'm quite speechless from that type of play. I think Solveig might have got a bit of this as well. It's
Paul Crowder, I think, who's going to be credited with the goal, Gaz, and his second of the season. And goodness me, he missed the easiest opportunity, goal-scoring opportunity of his life earlier, but he's found a way through there, maybe with a bit of help on the way. I don't think Garnett saw too much of it, and that's twice that Garnett's been beaten on his near side post as well, Gaz. The Devils go 3-0 up.
But I must admit, I think Garnett was very much like myself. I was gearing up for the play to develop in a very different way to which it did. Sometimes you just got to admit that you need a second look at something rather than trying to work it out. But what I can tell you is it's 3-0 and the Devils come forward again. Martin shoots and it's wrist wide. Reddick forward to Martin. Martin's held up by Solveig. Lewis goes in to help him. Reddick at the blue line. Reddick throws it and it's taken a few deflections wide. Now Batch. Batch tries to rim it around the boards, but it's well cut out by Brown.
It's Morissette who's been given the goal unassisted in the building, guys. So
I think Sauvé is the one who ultimately came off his stick. That was my first reaction to it. And I think that's why Garnett was so fooled by it, that it would come off his stick the way it did. As Panthers come forward, Mosey shoots, and that's blocker save. Out in front again, another chance, is at the bar! Strachan with the play out.
Well, you talk about the importance of momentum in sports, guys. The Devils get one of the most freaky goals you'll see. Then the Panthers come back strong but hit the post. What a big couple of minutes in this hockey game.
Turnover for the Panthers in the offensive zone now.
It was delayed with the
48
shot.
to Matthew Myers, who is probably going to be nominated for the Ballon d'Or after that. As the hit come in on Fournier, I think that was, by Delago at the benches. And the Panthers feel that they deserve something here at the death throes of the second period. And it's out in front, Bounds makes the pad save again. That's two big chances in a matter of minutes for the Panthers.
Great pushback from the Panthers. Love to see that from them. Bounds hasn't had to do much in this game, especially this second period. What a big couple of saves from him.
Now Bentavolio moves forward. There's an expectancy from this crowd every time the Devils get into the zone, as that pass is cut out by Pellini. And now here's Schaller, who we can say after that hit from Mark Lewis is back onto the ice, which is good to see. Hotham. Martin tries to find Morissette and can't. Sauvé under pressure from Crowder. Shanktev stood up at his own blue line. Now Crowder lays it off. Can't get the shot away. Crowder again. Lord with a hit. Now Morissette. Back to Crowder, who scores! Great feed from the captain behind the net. And Crowder, who's been influential all weekend, gets the fourth. Cardiff Devils 4, Nottingham Panthers 0.
This time Paul Crowder does get the goal. It's his second league goal of the season, and he's been superb tonight. He missed a sitter earlier, but what a goal that was from him. Him and Andrew Lord, goodness me, they look like they enjoy playing together. The Devils go 4-0 up.
And after the Panthers had two big chances of bounce saved and one that came off the post, that fourth one is a bit of a sucker punch out.
Yeah, I think you got that bang on, guys, and we're going to see a change in net for the Nottingham Panthers as well. Garnett's going to go here. Looks like Sam Gospel is going to be coming in here in relief of Mike Garnett.
You're a little bit surprised with 1 minute 30 left that this change is taking place with it 90 seconds. Is it not pertinent to get everyone into the dressing room and see how Garnett is?
Unless some kind of injury, guys, but he stayed on the bench as Mike Garnett. I think he probably would have liked that one back. I think that was a good shot from Crowder, but he did get some of it. So I suppose in that situation, he'd have expected to make the save. Maybe it's just to try and get the team going, though. We've seen Andrew Lord do that with Ben Bounds this season as well.
Lee comes over the blue line to the corner. Puck's loose. Brown tries to get there. He can't now. Here's Mark Lewis, who may have played his way into a new position so far tonight. Good backhand play by Spang. Now here's Lee. Forward, Brown does well at the blue line, lays off for Lindhagen. Lindhagen there with a backhand play, and the Panthers do get rewarded. And with 58 seconds remaining in the second period, it's 4-1.
What a beautiful play there from Eric Lindhagen. We saw a beautiful backhand goal from Morissette earlier. Now we see it from the Swede Lindhagen. He skates so effortlessly and he handles the puck so well. He goes backhand, gets his second of the season, and maybe that goaltending change does work for Corey Nielsen, Gaz. It gets the Panthers going. They hit right back with 58 seconds left.
Well, when Gareth was asked the question, why would you change your goaltender with 90 seconds left, the Nottingham Panthers answer in style. But you have to say, it's a deserved goal for the Panthers, who in these last 10 minutes or so of the second period have upped the pressure. And if they were to get another one now, it would make the third period something really special. As that stopped in front, there's a few red jerseys around, thrown out of the zone. Laid off to Phillips, and Phillips is going to come over this blue line. He's up against Matt Pope, it was, and now it's out of the zone. 20 seconds remain. Is there one more chance here?
Yeah, Fournier jumped up into the play, got caught, but Matt Pope there with a nice play there on Phillips as a forward play in defence there. Veteran play from Pope kept the Panthers out.
Well, the Devils tick these seconds down. They'll be quite happy to get into the break 4-1 up, you think. And that is, the buzzer does go as we got a little bit of afters here. Pope and Farmer. We'll just see what develops. I think there's enough officials there to settle this one down. Don't know how much of that you saw, Al.
About as much as you guys. I'm going to stay with it. You've got to love Rob Farmer, haven't you? He will go through a brick wall for his team. He'll do anything. He's one of their top point scorers this season. He can score some beautiful goals. He'll take a beating in front of net, and now he's at the centre of melee. Old school hockey between the Panthers and the Devils as we head to the benches.
And I think this is going to calm down. I don't think Farmer's going to calm down. I think the situation will. There's still a few back and forth, even with Farmer has been ushered to the front of the people leaving, but
hopefully we won't see any penalties from that cast. We just love to see that part of the game, and Pope and Farmer there, and then Paris comes in with a little dig after as Farmer's not had enough, and then everyone converges around the bench, or at least the interested parties do, and finally they off they go.
Rob Farmer strikes me as someone who confronts people who jump queues.
Oh yeah,
stands up for what's right in his own mind. I like it.
I like it. Yeah, no, I had the pleasure of interviewing Rob Farmer after the Panthers playoff final weekend on the ice a couple of years ago, and you couldn't meet. I know they just won, but you couldn't meet a nicer bloke. And if ever there's an example of somebody who plays with a very different character to how they are in life off the ice, I think Rob Farmer is it, and I mean that as a compliment.
Absolutely, and so we'll take a break as the Bruce Dickinson Chuck-a-Puck is in full swing. I'm sure it's something like a toddler can win a PS4 or something like that. I think that's usually how it works, isn't it?
Well, I think a 12-year-old won a car, didn't they, the first time, and yeah.
Difficult to get insurance though. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back with about 5 minutes before the start of the third period for highlights, and then a vital third period here at Ice Arena Wales. It's Cardiff Devils 4, Nottingham Panthers 1 here on IceTime.TV. And we're back here on IceTime.TV as I startle my broadcast partners, Gareth Hughes and Aled Lloyd. Yeah, and we're going to watch some second period highlights and how plentiful they were.
I thought you were going to say we're going to watch some hockey then.
Well, that as well.
Yeah. glad we're all here for the same thing. Right now, the Zamboni is keen to be involved in the highlights package.
But what a force of engineering that Zamboni is.
Look at it go. Oh.
And here we are.
I wonder what we're going to see. Yeah, there's the puck getting stuck. And in many ways, that set the tone, didn't it, for the first half of the period anyway. The Devils found a lot of success. And the Panthers didn't get out of their own zone for the first 30, 40 seconds. And again, we're just seeing those board battles, that third forward winning the puck. That time it's Crowder. And again, good presence in front of net. Again, it's Crowder, Ulmer as well. And they're not really being moved out of the way.
No, and there was, as we see Crowder's miss, right at the death of that power play.
Yeah, and then did Garnett manage to save the second try as well?
I think it was Sauve's stick. So as we see Sauve here getting his stick right on it.
Well, Garnett was there as well, wasn't he? So excellent from those two. And again, that was just Drew Parris getting the shot away quickly. So the Devils were getting success there on the power play, and even 5-on-5, just getting the puck back to Parris, who wasn't overhandling, just getting the shot away quickly, and that worked for them. And then the Panthers did make a couple of adjustments later on. They managed to close him down a lot better. And that was, I don't know how Josh Schaller missed that. I suppose he was on his way down, wasn't he?
He was indeed.
But again, it's that first shot. It's one shot, isn't it? And then there's not really a second up opportunity for the Panthers. They're not getting those players to the net to get to the puck first. And Ben Bounds has deflected the puck well there. Again, look at it's almost like watching the game in slow motion. And I think these highlights are more or less full speed. And but the Panthers are so passive. That's the hit there from Lewis. That looks like it's high to me. But Schaller, I didn't see Schaller go to the dressing room to get checked out, and that's disappointing. I think he should have gone to the dressing room because he was clearly not quite with it. But we get a goal here, and it was the second one for the Devils. Pope with a good bit of work. Martin just making sure, getting it right up high there, but that'll do him a lot of confidence, guys.
Yeah, and Garnett unlucky there with the poke check, not to get that away from Pope. I didn't spot that first of all, but you're quite right. Joey Martin needs to get on a little bit of run here. As we're going to see here exactly what happened, and that's just Sauve looking to wrap around the boards, and I thought that's what happened at first, but it's such a strange passage of play here. He's just looking to dig that out.
Yeah, I think Mike Garnett was about as ready for that puck from Jan Sauve as we were, guys. And yeah, I think he's looking to go back into his own zone. This is a great angle, isn't it? Yeah, he's just down. He just doesn't have the leverage. Garnett's not set, and in it goes. Pinpoint accuracy from Jan Sauve.
I'm just amazed at how much pace he seemed to get that puck with, as we see the Panthers hit the post there.
A key moment, wasn't it? DeLego there with a shot, and had Bounds beaten, couldn't find a way through. That was the time where the Panthers did get a second up opportunity, and they got players to the net. The Devils couldn't clear the puck there with Craig Moore. DeLego with a shot, but then the Devils, after that lucky goal, the Panthers don't score with the post, and then the Devils go up the other end almost instantly and score that goal. That's a crucial passage of play in this hockey game.
And another save from Bounds. Keep in mind, it's still 3-0 at this point, so 3-1, and it's a whole different players. There, Garnett does get a little bit of it, but it trickles over.
And that really is the way this line needs to play. Morissette and Lord probably... You could certainly argue, I've watched them in Cardiff over the years, they make each other better players. They're great friends. They love playing together. Jan Sauve again there just doesn't get in tight enough on Crowder, who's late to come in. Morissette with a great vision. Lord with a hit on the boards, frees up the puck for Morissette with a great vision as Crowder goes to the net. Great goal.
And here Lindhagen on the backhand.
Well, Lindhagen's looked good for the Panthers, and he's been the source of a lot of their, at least their clean entries into the Cardiff Devils zone. He skates so well, he handles the puck so well, he's got all that Swedish Elite League experience, and what a play that was to go backhand there on Bounds and get the goal. And it keeps this one interesting going into the third, guys.
It certainly does. An early goal, and I think the Panthers will feel that maybe after a long road trip to Sheffield yesterday, and the effort exerted there, and the amount that the Devils have had to work hard to get their lead, an early goal, maybe they sense a little bit of tiredness in the Devils' ranks.
Well, I noticed Corey Nielsen after the Panthers win yesterday. He asked about the Devils. He said, "I don't know what happened, but I hope it was a horrible, hard, tough game that has just worn them out." Well, I'm not sure it was really, perhaps, for the Devils. It is a long trip, but I think certainly they, as we've seen tonight, the way they've played, the intensity they've played with, there was perhaps a little bit left in the tank last night, and it's paid dividends this evening as well. But it'll be fascinating because clearly the confidence is coming more for the Devils, but they did start to make plays there, Gaz, that weren't perhaps as high percentage in that sense. So the Panthers were able to find some more offense because the Devils perhaps were taking 1 or 2 more chances. We saw them not clear the zone quite as quickly. They started to handle the puck maybe a little bit too much. I'm not sure. It might be a bit too soon for that from the Cardiff Devils perspective. Confidence is bound to be a little bit fragile. And as you say, if the Panthers do get an early goal here, that's going to be a real test for the Devils because the Panthers are a confident club right now.
Indeed they are, as we have a delay as the officials want to make sure this puck is moving on this ice so we don't have a repeat of what happened at the second period. Touching on the Q&A that you did with Todd Kelman and Neil Francis, Todd Kelman made a point that there needs to be more people in this Devils locker room speaking up and taking a vocal role. The line that the Devils have out at the moment, all were in a little huddle as this puck malarkey is going on with the officials, and interestingly Bryce Reddick seemed to be the most vocal of that little group, a group which includes Bentavolio and includes Matt Pope, maybe guys who
It's just not moving that puck, is it? Sorry, Gav.
No, it's not. It's like when you play air hockey and your money runs out.
Yeah, they're kicking. You can't quite see it on the camera at the moment. They're kicking the puck around in the Devil zone as it is now, the same zone that caused problems in the first period. It is barely moving. They're tapping it there, and Gaz, there is no way I can beat your description of that. That is exactly what it is like being a veteran of the air hockey circuit in South Wales. There's not much more demoralising than when that money runs out and you think, I don't know if I can justify another pound on this game. But I think you made an interesting point with Bryce Reddick. The way he plays, I'm not entirely surprised with that either. I think he's a guy who plays with confidence. He looks like he's got the ability to be a leadership player. And I think he's been good tonight as well, Gaz. And I think he's enjoyed just 5 D-men on the ice. He's seen more time. And again, that D unit's brought into the system as well. And he's the guy out there right now trying to make sure this puck is ready to go. And I don't think we're going to get started here until Bryce Reddick says we're ready to go, Gaz. And as well, it's interesting. I mean, he's the guy who's playing with Mark Richardson out of the lineup. He's probably played the most minutes with Andrew Hotham as well. That's interesting. Andrew Lord has obviously got a lot of faith there, Bryce Reddick, to put him up with a guy who's going to be playing the most minutes out of all the defensemen. And we are finally ready to get going with this third period, perhaps. Or maybe not.
That way. Now it's turned into shuffleboard, which, by the way, we were given a crash course in by Joey Martin and Joey Haddad a few weeks ago on how to play shuffleboard.
Just a note as well, Sam Gospel is going to stay in goal, so I suppose there's always a question mark whether that might have just been something just to get Mike Garnett out of the net at the end of the period. But no, it is Sam Gospel who's going to stay in. Panthers have scored a goal with him in net, and they'll hope for at least 3 more.
And we are finally ready. Face-off won by the Devils, and on that ice is going to get tested nice and early. Martin chipped this one in for Matt Pope to chase. Lee does well, but only gets as far as the blue line. Pope rims that one around, looking for Bentavolio. Gospel. Lee around for Shalin. Sauve. Pellini. Strachan just holding Pellini up at the boards. Strachan again, this time up against Mosey, and now the Largo's moving forward, bound with a stick, is loose in the feet of Pellini, and he can't get his stick on it, and the Devils now have a chance to get out. Ulmer to Batch. Batch to Lewis. Lewis was hoping that there was a D partner at the blue line, but the Devils are gone for a shift change. Lindhagen. Morissette. Lord will just dump that in, and he takes a hit for his troubles, and Gospel will cover that up. And the cagey starts of the third.
Yeah, I think the Devils will be reasonably pleased. They don't have the early period dominance that they had in the second period. The Panthers are still just finding it difficult to get that transition game going, and they haven't established anything early in this third in the Cardiff Devils zone. We haven't noticed a huge amount of adjustment so far. The lines seem to be sticking together as they were. We'll see if any changes come our way from a Nottingham perspective as the time starts to tick down if there's no more goals.
Now here's Brown. Brown plays the back to the side of the net, and that was Ollie Betteridge looking to put that away. Strachan to Crowder. Crowder with a lovely backhand play to Morissette, but Morissette's pass can't find Lord.
Good chance for Betteridge. He's not getting a regular shift with this this Panthers team this evening, but when he did get on the ice, looking to make something happen there, and he plays with such a good endeavour. He's got a good skill set as well, Gaz. He's not afraid to get into those areas, and he had a good chance there as well. And that was a fine play from Andrew Lord, actually. Reddick was the one tangled up with Betteridge as Betteridge found his way through, but Lord was actually the man who got a block there. I don't think Betteridge got all of the shot, but Lord there putting it on the line for his team.
And I'm sure there are many coaches in the Elite League maybe giving a phone call to Ollie Betteridge, asking him if he's happy with his ice time, as I'm sure there are many people who would love to be giving him a regular shift on their third line or higher. He has got a lot of upside as Ollie Betteridge. Oh, out in front, and now he's Piggott! And that would have been the icing on the cake of his performance thus far if he could have gotten a goal, Luke Piggott. But the Panthers have come away with it, Lakowicz. And now he's got Oshanda there, and that's going to be a call here, and what's it going to be? And actually there's a hurt. Is that Piggott again, I think? I think Piggott may have hurt himself here, unfortunately, on that play.
Well, we await the calling. The penalty box is open, so it does look as though it's just going to be 2 minutes. There's going to be a power play opportunity. Piggott, we hope is good as we wait to see as the doctor now comes on the ice, and I think he knows something's wrong there. Just the reaction there, Gaz, from Luke Piggott, the way he hit the boards, and he tried to get up, and nothing was moving, so he's just going to stay where he is and wait for the consultation. But Mokshansev it was who was through on Ben Bounds there, and he's got a bag of tricks as Mokshansev, but he perhaps just didn't have the step there. He hasn't shown as Piggott gets up. That's great to see, and sensible as well from Luke Piggott, the way he just stayed in position there and waited for the medics to come on the ice as well, Gaz. And well, he's not a doctor for nothing. And now he'll go, and he's well enough to go and sit for 2 minutes as well. But it is the Nottingham Panthers who'll go on the power play here, and this is a big opportunity for them. You feel a key moment in the game. Mokshansev was through, and he earned them the 2-minute power play opportunity. And probably the right play from Piggott in the end, as Mokshansev was on fire in the Champions Hockey League. We know he can score goals, and would have tested Ben Bounds there.
Of course, that's the alluring image, isn't it, of the Champions League campaign, is Mokshansev scoring that second goal in that game against the Finnish side to make it 2-0, and kind of the moment they realised, the Panthers, that they were going to progress in the Champions League. It's a gift that's had many a retweet from the Nottingham region since that happened. But right now they're looking to get a dent in this Cardiff Devils lead on the power play. Charlotte back to the point, and Bounds has to make the save. Martin looking to get the back out he's up against. The Panthers defenseman, and the Devils do get it through. And now is a chance, Andrew Lord, and Gospel makes the save.
I think Andrew Lord would have liked to have done a little bit better there. He had to work so hard to get himself into that position initially, but when he did get separation from the defenseman, in the end it's a good save from Gospel, who came out and challenged Lord, came to the top of his crease. A fine save from him, but Lord would have felt he could have made him work a little bit harder. In the end, he went straight into the bread basket. But again, the Devils put pressure on the Panthers there, point men. They get a break, and they get a way to clear.
55 seconds remain on the power play for the Panthers. Delago leaves it for Sauve. Shantev. He's muscled out of it in the corner. Sauve at the blue line. Throws it there, but it's blocked on the way. Back around. Boussier. Boussier out in front, and Phillips tried to get the one-timer away, but a lot of the sting was taken out of it in the way to bounds.
Yeah, Phillips there with an opportunity, but he was just crowded out of it in the end, I think, Gaz, and wasn't able to get a clear shot away. Did get to the puck first, but there was a lot of pressure on his stick there, and Bounds with an easy save in the end.
Face-off won by the Panthers, but it falls to the Devils, and Matthew Myers it is who gets that out. There's 10 seconds left of power play time here. Mosey. Sauve. And his pass is deflected out. Penalty is over, but the danger isn't. Rakowicz moving forward. Betteridge. Lee throws it at net, and Bounds makes the pad save. Piggott tries to get it out and can't. Now here's Lee. Hotham. Strachan just off the boards. Now it's flicked forward. That's going to be an icing call, and the Devils are going to have their tired legs back on the ice.
Yeah, Lindhagen and Mosey were superb there. They just wouldn't let Andrew Hotham get away there and get that puck free out of the zone. And Strachan out there too had a lot of pressure on him, and he's got to be feeling it after that long flight coming into 2 games against 2 of the top clubs in the Elite League. Fine play from them. We're just seeing a little shift from the Panthers now, just committing those men up high, trying to put pressure on the Devils and get some zone time.
Well, somehow I think Luke Pickett's managed to get a line change here, despite very clearly being on the ice for that icing call. So a little one bought there by the Devils. Hit come in from Brown on Pope. And now here's Lindhagen again, getting the Jets going. Lays it to Billingsley. That shot hits Bendevolio, and Bendevolio again gets something on it, and that's been a theme tonight now. Devils getting themselves in front of packs.
Yeah, they've done to Nottingham what a lot of teams have done to them successfully this season so far, and they're just taking away time from their creative players on the back end. And Panthers will get an offensive zone face-off. Jeff Brown, he must be made of granite though. The way goodness me, when he throws those hits, Gaz, he's a big player, but he's certainly not the biggest player on the ice. But that is a heavy hit that he throws there, and Matt Pope felt it.
Ribois leaves it for Schaller. And again, it's blocked out in front. Now Bendevolio has got some ice to skate into. Runs out of it. Hit missed.
Paris just took a little knock there. Just gone to the bench. He's just staying on the bench though.
And the Devils force an icing call this time on Nottingham.
Yeah, and I think that's timely. I think the Panthers were just gaining the ascendancy there, and it's too far out for the Devils just to be sitting in their own zone. They've played a high-intensity game, but with those 4 lines going regularly, I'm sure they can continue that for the rest of this one. Panthers are getting more success there though, but the Devils are just getting to pucks in front of Ben Bounds ahead of the Panthers at the moment.
Reddick, and his shot is blocked. Lord misses that swipe, and now there's a possible 2-on-1 for the Panthers. And Lord does well on the back check. And now here's Morissette. Reddick. Reddick shoots, and Gospel was almost fooled by the deflection and the path that puck took. Reddick again. Shot comes in, but it's high and into the face of Paul Crowder in the end from Strachan. Lee comes over the blue line. Good pass by Lee, and the shot that came in, Bounds had to save. Phillips, lovely turn by Phillips. Sauve back to Phillips. There's good pressure here from the Panthers. Sauve with a drive, and it's just gone past Bounds' net.
Reddick's been out there a long time, Gaz. He's been up and down the ice twice on the rush as well. The Devils needed to clear the puck there.
Mosey shoots, and Bounds holds on. Sauve and Reddick actually. Now Strachan coming over. And this is very much what you'll expect from Strachan going forward, Al.
Yeah, I think that's a combination that could work for the Devils. Obviously, we've said going with 5 D-men tonight, so there's a bit of a mix and matching going on there. But yeah, Reddick was out there for a long time there. He went up and down twice, but I liked the intent from him. He was trying to get the Devils going, just change that momentum as the Panthers had wrestled it from them. But then it meant that because the Devils couldn't clear the zone, the Panthers were able to take advantage of a few tired bodies on the ice.
Devils win the draw now as well. Now Craig Moore's looking to send that forward, but it's ably stopped on the way by Gagnon. Craig Moore gets another chance at it, but it's going to be an icing call instead.
Yeah, and that was a good hustle from Mokshantsev that time, just put pressure on. They got the good skating of Rob Lakovic out there as well. And the tide is just with the Nottingham Panthers at the moment. The Devils, perhaps from playing that high-intensity game, just suffering a little bit with fatigue. And the more they ice the puck, that's going to get harder and harder as those shifts get longer. They've got to keep them short.
Paris to Hotham. Hotham in a battle there. I thought there could have been a tripping call possibly called there, but nothing doing. And now Craig Moore up against Boussier. Gagnon. Back to Boussier. To Billingsley. Gagnon thought he could hit the drive, and he was caught in two minds, I think, Gagnon, in the end, and took his eye off the puck for a second, and it came out of the zone. But here come the Panthers again. And
yeah, the Devils couldn't get a change there, Gaz, either.
Matthew Myers. Hotham, he can't get it out of the zone either, and that was a tired play from Andrew Hotham as we get Lindhagen now teeing it up for the one-timer, but Bounds has to cover up, and now the Devils can get that change.
Yeah, they got a little bit of a break there as well, and on the back end it's Breezebar, it was, who just fanned on the puck, and it meant that Bounds could cover things up and get those tired players off the ice. I wonder whether Mark Lewis now comes on and plays defence perhaps. So he stayed in that forward role. We thought it might just be for a few shifts. It's been a solid line for the Devils out there, but he is indeed, I think, now going to come on and play defence. I think that's the sensible move from coach Andrew Lord. He's out there with Gleeson Fournier.
But will the Panthers sense from this move that the Devils are looking to consolidate what they have a little bit? Will that give them the impetus to go forward that little bit more, Nottingham? Hit coming in on Fournier from behind the play. I was following the puck, Al. I don't know how much of that you saw.
No, I was following the play as well. It was Ollie Betteridge, it was, with the hit. Lewis just came in with a slash on Betteridge, which Hogarth let go as well. I don't think Betteridge is going to take a fight there with Mark Lewis.
And that'll be an icing call on the play as well.
But I do like that Mark Lewis has done a little bit of enforcing tonight as well, guys. I know he's playing that shift on defence, but we're seeing, obviously, the Devils don't have that out-and-out heavyweight this season, that super heavyweight, if you like, that kind of has that intimidatory role. But there are reactions coming from players. They're, of course, missing Farina tonight, who we know is always first in there. But Lewis has shown that tonight. As a forward, maybe it's just got him into the game a bit more aggressively as well. And I think he's just enforced one or two situations pretty well tonight.
Reddick throws that one. Good save by Gospel, and Brown picks up the scraps and moves forward. Reddick off the glass. Crowder plays it forward, but that's gone onto the bench. Farmer's asking for something, but I think he knows that's not the rules.
Gospel's been good since he's come in, but he's a little deep in his net on a couple of occasions here, but the Devils have only managed to get that first up shot through to him. You feel as though if they were to commit maybe the second and third forward in there and really put some pressure on, they might have an opportunity or two, but obviously now they're looking to maintain and protect this lead. We're seeing the Panthers in the Devils zone far more.
Morissette off the glass. Lord. He'll send it for Crowder to chase. Crowder's up against Pellini. Panthers play their way out. Farmer. Reddick. Morissette. And Gospel will... That's a slash from Sauvé for the little bit of spray on Gospel. And again, we like that kind of play, don't we?
Oh, I like the way Crowder has played tonight. Sauvé does not like that, but Crowder is got a really unlikable presence out there on the ice tonight. If you're a fan of the team he's playing against, at least, and I think that's good to see him bring that element to his game. We haven't seen it too much so far this season, but as the fitness has come back, the confidence has come back, that element of his game obviously exists as well. And previously on the Russia, that was the first time the Devils had committed those three forwards high. The Panthers had a good chance, but they hustled to get back.
Paris throws it, but there's too many bodies in front of Gospel. He doesn't need to make the save, and Strachan there almost seemed surprised that puck came to him at the blue line, but he manages to keep it alive. And now here's Pope. Puck takes a whack of the boards, and now it's Mosey who'll get the rush going. Billingsley. Strachan deals with that, but Panthers attempt to turn it over, but their pass is loose. Now here's Paris, who's run into a little bit of trouble. The forecheck strong from the Panthers. Billingsley shoots, and that's wide. Ulmer's at a battle, but he loses out. Strachan will just hit that one off the glass. Mosey. Moore. He has a lot of room to skate into here, does Moore. He put the brakes on. Myers. Piggott. Moore with a shot, and that's gone wide. Now Myers, his fourth line paying dividends again for the Devils, and Piggott's got in there. He's lost an edge. And now it's chipped away by Mosey, but great energy from that fourth line.
The Devils need to take a little bit of pressure off, and who is it, that fourth line? Thank Sean Bentavoglou there for being offside so I can finish my point. But it's that fourth line again, isn't it? And I love the intelligence that they played with there. They got the puck in deep, they played to their strengths, they made sure they took a bit of time out, put pressure on the D-men. And Craig Moore has got a laser of a shot. We saw that fabulous goal he scored in the Champions Hockey League. We know he's got it. I'd like to see him shoot a little bit more, but he's playing his role effectively tonight nonetheless.
Lee to Sauvé, and we talked about the depth of the Nottingham Panthers, but Sauvé has eaten up so much ice time tonight. Markowitz rides that hit. Joey Martin trying to find that puck now. He gets back up. Panthers still with it though. And then Martin finally gets it away. Devils get out, but it's just going to come straight back in to Sauvé again. Hotham. That's going to be all the way down for icing, is it? No, it's been waved off. Bendevolio with the strong skate. And now Bendevolio's tussling with Lee, and Lee hits the hit, and that's going to be a power play.
Gaz,
for the Devils.
that is the difference that the Devils have played with tonight. It's that extra little 2-3%, that will to win those puck battles, not only on the boards, but then just to strive to cut out that icing there from Bendevolio. That just exemplifies the way they've played tonight. It's the way they played in those wins in the Champions Hockey League as well, but it's what's been missing, quite frankly, from their domestic campaign so far, and it makes such a difference. It's that 2 or 3% can make a huge difference to the overall pattern of the game, and it's paid dividends tonight. And now they go on the power play late on, just when they needed to, because they were looking a little bit tired, but they get a chance to at least kill 2 minutes here and get that power play going again.
And just before this power play begins, regular viewers of IceTime.TV will know we usually give an update on what's for food in the director's box. Well, I can confirm whatever it is, it's burnt. So nothing for the directors tonight. Back at the blue line. And that's going to be sent all the way up. Bounds will stick handle this one, and important for Bounds to get his confidence up with his stick handling. He was uncharacteristically caught out in Sheffield last night for their first goal. But much like any time the Cardiff Devils goaltender makes a mistake, he's bounced back from it. As Paris gets a little bit of... Daniel Morissette scores on the one-timer! Cardiff Devils 5, Nottingham Panthers 1, and with so little time left, that could be a big win in the context of the Cardiff Devils season.
What a big goal in the context of Jake Morissette's season as well. The captain, the Devils needed leadership, and he scores another goal tonight with a one-timer there. What a play it was from Drew Paris over to Andrew Hotham, two of the most skillful players on this Devils roster. Hotham knew he was going to make that pass all day long, and Morissette made no mistake. What a finish from Jake Morissette, what vision from Hotham. Well, we said the Panthers have been a little bit passive on their penalty kill. Well, they got more aggressive that time and paid the penalty, and you can understand why they would get more aggressive, Gaz. Of course, they're chasing the game now, but perhaps that's why they've been playing that passive game. The Devils took full advantage.
Crowder sends this puck in. Ulmer's going to chase against Polini. Batch is in on the chase as well. Now here's Mark Lewis back on D. Batch with a shot, it's out loose, Batch again, he scores! And it's turning into an emphatic night of Cardiff Devils hockey. Josh Batch makes it 6-1 to the Cardiff Devils.
Josh Batch gets his second league goal of the season. And is this the game that the Devils needed? Has that tide turned for them now? They put in the hard work over those first 50 minutes. Now they're reaping the reward. A couple of goals. They've had 1 or 2 breaks this evening as well. But you can see that confidence, that swagger. Josh Batch is pumped. So are these fans.
The fans are indeed, you can hear them loud and proud. I have to say, sometimes this building can be a little quiet from the start of games while it warms up, but I feel the fans have played their part spectacularly tonight as Bounds makes a save from Mosey. Lovely backhand play there from behind the net from Delago, and now Matthew Myers has to play this one out, and the Devils do play it out.
Guys, that's officially that's Morissette's hat-trick goal as well. Although we think Crowder may have had a hand in that second one, but either way, if it does go to Morissette, what a game from him.
Well, I have a feeling that the Devils would have to challenge to give it to Crowder. I sense now that maybe won't happen. But as he throws it across, and Clark it was who got the puck caught in his skate as the Devils chip that one out. That will not be an icy goal. I was waiting to see what the linesman did. He seemed to be waiting as well, and I don't know, Al, if you'd agree with this assertion, but I kind of feel as we got into the 10 minutes left of the third period mark, the Nottingham Panthers kind of felt like it wasn't their night.
Yeah, I think the endeavour's been been there from the Panthers. I think they've had the ascendancy in this final period, but the Devils have certainly become more passive. But I don't think they've particularly troubled Ben Bounds in goal. He's made 1 or 2 big saves, but generally they've had shots from the outside and haven't had clean shots from the slot area either. The Devils have got good sticks in lanes. They block shots as well. And, you know, when you're a 3-goal deficit and you get inside that final 10-minute mark, and I think that final power play there, that just finished it off.
As Hotham now battling for that puck in the corner against Gagnon. And well, we may be in a position as well, looking at the wider context of the league, where what people thought were going to happen is happening, and there's a lot of in-conference wins being swapped, which is going to benefit a certain team in the north, the name of the Manchester Storm, who seem to be racking up wins at the moment. So interested to see, but this is another in-conference win for the Devils, who have had a fair few thus far. So 2 vital points for the Red Army tonight. Sauve turns. Puck fanned on by Akowicz, but second time of asking, he doesn't. Sauve's got himself a penalty here. He's going to be a tripping call.
Yeah, the arm took a long while to go up there from referee Hogarth, and I wondered as a result whether there was going to be an embellishment call actually against Sauve, but he has gone back to the initial penalty. I think there was probably a penalty there initially, but then well, there we are. It's 6-1. I suppose it's not a huge impact on the game.
So, power play time for the Panthers. Boussier back to Sauve, who's still eating up ice time even at this juncture. The fitness of the man must be unreal.
It's a big opportunity for the Devils to try and kill another one. It's been good tonight. They have the worst penalty kill in the league so far.
Shandiv just delaying as Strachan made himself a nuisance, and now that pass is loose and Matthew Myers clears.
So I'm sure there'll be a lot of pride in this outfit trying to improve on the penalty kill. Andrew Lord, always coaching, will be thinking this is a good opportunity for his club to keep working on that penalty kill. And
Boussier pulled a move to get in the zone, and now it's broken to Delago. Up against Mark Lewis, and now Boussier gets it back. Phillips. Sauve with a shot, and the deflection took it to the wrong side of bounds, but he managed to get a pad on it. Phillips looking for a shooting lane, gets it, but that's over the top of bounds. On the rebound, and it's finally there. It took a few attempts at it, and I think it's Mashantev in the end who gets the final touch, and it's 6-2 here.
And Corey Nielsen will be pleased. I said that it was an opportunity for the Devils to work on their penalty kill. Of course, Corey Nielsen as well will be glad to give his power play a chance, a power play that's not firing this season so far. But they get a goal there. It is a consolation goal, but it might just be something that sparks their power play into action in this early part of the season.
And another penalty is going to be called here. It's a tripping call as Polini bulldozed his way through. And well, 6-3. If they were to score early into this power play, would be interesting.
That's Raphael Boussier, who is credited with a goal. His second on the season, his second on the power play as well. So
Devils chip this one out.
Well, that's another opportunity now. This penalty kill for the Devils needs to get going this season. This power play for the Panthers, and we know how important special teams have been a key element in the Devils' title success.
Polini's all the way through, and it handcuff bounds. And the Devils do just about get it out at the second time of asking. Shala Farmer. Schaller again lays up the one-timer, it's deflected in front. Bounds makes the save, it's still loose under bounds. And it's going to be whistled down. The referee is right on top of that, Hogarth. I saw the puck, the last I saw it was right under Bounds' armpit, right on the line.
That's fantastic to see from both clubs there, isn't it? The battle that's going on. This, the professionalism of both sides there. The Devils trying to improve their penalty kill. The Panthers looking to get a power play goal. Still 2 minutes 18 left. It might be a bit too far for them to come back to 6-2, but 6-3 would just maybe mean that Nielsen gets Gospel out of the net and we see a big battle. A lot of personal pride out there as well, Gaz. That's why this is two top clubs going at it.
Well, we're still in October. There's still a lot of games to come between these two teams, so you have to set your stall out and you have to ensure that the next time you come into contact with your opponent, they know what you're about. Myers with the important face-off win and now sends that all the way down the other end of the ice. 1 minute and 5 seconds remain on the power play for the Panthers. I thought the referee might have taken another look at that puck using the goal line technology. I don't know if he has to wait for a review or he was so confident from his positioning, which was very good, by the way, that he didn't need to do it. Now it's broken for Bentavolio. Bentavolio can't get the shot away. Sauve muscled him out to the shooting lane, and that was great defense from Sauve, who probably won't get man of the match, but should. And from a Panthers perspective, it's a shame that the goal he did score tonight was in the wrong net. He probably deserves one for his own team. Billingsley over, and that's going to be another penalty here, and well, you can't really complain about that one.
No, clear penalty on Gleeson Fournier. I think that's the fatigue setting in, isn't it? The Devils just threw the kitchen sink at the Nottingham Panthers over the first two periods. They went more passive then for 10, 12 minutes or so before breaking out with another couple of goals in the fourth, but they played such a high-intensity game. Remember, they've been playing with 5 defensemen all night as well, for the majority of the night anyway, and we just see a tired play from Gleeson Fournier there. Panthers go 5-on-3 for 21 seconds.
There's 1:25 left of the period, so of course if they don't score, the Devils will remain on the kill for the rest of this game. And if they score twice, it'll be a blockbuster finish. Clark looking to get the one-time, a great pass from Clark, and Bounds has to make the save. The rebound is there, but Polini couldn't put it away. Clark. One-timer from Clark, and Bounds makes the save. Lord returns to the ice. It's 5-on-4 now for the last minute of the third period. Farmer. Schaller. One-timer, and there's a few deflections. The toe of Bounds, which gets it away in the end. Myers looking to get a slash on there to take it forward, and now Andrew Lord's through. What a great skate that was by Matthew Bribois, just to take it away from Lord. Drew Parris battling. There's a great noise here at Ice Arena Wales as Ulmer stops that play moving forward, and now he steps over the line. That's a great pass. Is it going to be a finish? And Gospel makes the save. Puck sent down in the last few seconds. Will tip away here at Ice Arena Wales, and for a fan base that was asking questions of the reigning champions, for reigning champions who were asking questions about themselves, tonight was very much a case of did they have the answers? And the Cardiff Devils, the Elite League champions, responded with yes, we do have the answers. A big 6-2 wins against conference rivals, the Nottingham Panthers. Is this the point in which the Cardiff Devils can kick on for what would be a repeat of their league title win? Aled Lloyd, what a game.
Well, we said at the top of the programme, the Devils need to find an identity. They need to find a way of playing. I think they found it tonight, Gaz. They pressed hard on the forecheck. They battled for every puck. They gave that extra 2-3% in those battles that meant they came out on top, as you will do in most hockey games if you play that way. They worked hard in front of Ben Bounds. They got bodies to the net. They scored some dirty goals. They scored some lucky goals, but they found a way, and they looked tonight like a team that played with a huge amount of pride, and just by the end, a huge amount of belief as well.
We'll have a look at the goals here from the third period now. As we see here, our great work by Paris to find Hotham, and Hotham has Morissette all the time in the world.
Yeah, Andrew Hotham with the puck on the power play and loads of space, and you could just see that Brown got overcommitted to Andrew Hotham there. Why wouldn't you? It's Andrew Hotham on a power play. Of course he's dangerous, but he was passing that all day long over to Jake Morissette, who got the hat-trick goal in the end, and then we saw Josh Batch, who's putting the points up as a forward, Gaz.
He certainly is. The Panthers did get their consolation. It was Boussier on the rebound there, as Tyson Marsh is going to deliver the man of the match awards. Nottingham man of the match for UL. That's Mac Faulkner as well. As you were going to say, 29, Eric Lindhagen.
On the tip of my tongue until Tyson Marsh and Mac Faulkner just stole the show there. I thought it was better to those two Devils heroes to have their moment there. Tyson Marsh, of course, the man who captained the side to that Challenge Cup final win in Sheffield, which in many ways was the beginning of the resurgence of this club. Now back to see the current crop of Cardiff Devils with a win tonight against the Nottingham Panthers. And Eric Lindhagen was good tonight. I think that's a fair call. I think Sove played a huge amount of minutes. There were probably a couple of mistakes in there though as well. He was on the ice for a couple of goals, and I suppose you're going to be when you play that many minutes, but we will see. And now the big check, Gaz, your favourite moment of the night?
Gotta love a big check.
I like that this organisation still sees the value in a big check as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely, I mean...
Not just the monetary value either.
We do, of course, wish the Nottingham Panthers players, management, fans a safe journey home on this Sunday evening. We will see them here again soon. For those of you with us tonight watching who couldn't get down here, please get down here on Tuesday for Mark Richardson's testimonial match and event. As you can see, Mac Faulkner, Tyson Marsh, there are a lot of old Devils favourites coming here, but for the man who's given so much to the Cardiff Devils, please get a babysitter, get whatever. You bring the family down if you can, and get Mark Richardson's testimonial packed here, because the man deserves it.
I was just announced in the arena that Tyson Marsh and Mac Faulkner are the captains of the two testimonial teams on Tuesday night, so great opportunity to see some Devils names there, but a lot of players from around the league who've played with Mark Richardson as well, Gary.
I believe there's a draft system happening, and Tyson and Faulkner will draft their teams from the available players, so it'll be a mismatch of current and past Devils.
Hope no one gets offended.
And of course the captain, Jake Morissette, leading by example tonight on the scoreboard, just as he does in penalty killing and effort every single week, but he stepped up tonight on a more visual way.
Superb display from Morissette, fantastic there, the hat-trick. He was so good tonight, Gaz, he even managed to telepathically get Jan Sove to score a goal for him. And you can't do much more than that, can you? But no, superb. And that's what the Devils needed. They needed their leadership guys. Morissette is a quiet man, but on the ice he lets the hockey do the talking for him. And goodness me, didn't he do that tonight? What a performance from him, leading from the front, and you could just see the confidence go through him as well as he put those goals away. What a finish on that last goal, the one-timer as well. It looks like Jake Morissette's back.
Look at the respect that Faulkner and Marsh have got from their ex-teammates, and it's really fantastic to see. Stories will certainly come out in the future, I think, for the story of Matt Faulkner in his final year in Cardiff, but that dressing room was one that was very close-knit by the end of that season, because it had to be. And the Devils take a victory lap. Al, your final thoughts before we hand it over to Ben Bounds and his wave for the evening?
Well, I think that this was a crucial game for the Cardiff Devils. It's perhaps been, in some ways, one of the biggest challenges Andrew Lord has faced as a coach as well. And it just felt like a team that needed an identity. It needed a way of playing. It needed to find something. And through adversity, really, with a number of injuries, they've come out against a side that is superb, quite frankly, that is on a bit of a roll in the Nottingham Panthers, that has done UK hockey, Elite League hockey, so proud in going through to the next round of the Champions Hockey League as well. We're going to see so much more from them this season. But in the end, tonight was about the Cardiff Devils. It was about, could they find a way against this talented Nottingham Panthers team under immense pressure, quite frankly, early on in the season, and they did do just that.
We will leave Ben Bounds and his enduring Bouncy Wave image to leave you. I've been Gareth Hewish on behalf of Aled Lloyd. Thank you for joining us. Please come to Mark Richardson's testimonial on Tuesday. Tickets still available. We'll be back here on Ice Time next Saturday when the Coventry Blaze are in town. Face off 7 o'clock. So join us then. But here's Ben Bounds. Thank you very much for joining us here on IceTime.TV, and I hope you've enjoyed your hockey wherever you are. Good night.